We are gathered here for the press conference with the Chief PNP, Police General Debold Sinas. Everybody is requested to rise as Police Colonel Arnulfo Castillo, Deputy Director of Chaplain Service, leads the invocation.
We put ourselves in God's presence. Lord, you said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God." Loving Father, bless us as we gather once again in our PNP's press conference. 2,000 years ago, your coming to birth is the good news for the humanity, spread and communicated by the angels. In the same spirit, you ushered the humanity, and particularly in these trying times, we are always guided by your good news. It is also, we pray, that may we always recognize the significance, importance of communication and information in nation building. Bless our beloved Chief PNP, General Debold Sinas, who always lead us in giving quality police service. And no less than his office this morning received the quality management service, for he believes the Filipino people deserve no less. Thus bless our partnership, the police leadership and media would bolt in together for God, country, and people. And this all we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, the Chief PNP, Police General Debold Sinas.
Good morning, everybody. To our friends from the media, welcome to our weekly press conference. I have here today our command group of the Philippine National Police, starting with our DCA, General Gilor Elizar, our DCO, at the same time the Task Force COVID Shield. Si Rizal pala ang Chief ng ASCOT, si Police General Cesar Binag, of course, ang TDCA natin, TCDS natin na si General Jojo Baracruz. I have here the other staffs that will be reported. Virgilio Maganes of Pangasinan will also update you on the special task group investigation Hernando. This is the case in Valenzuela, which I reported the last time. The results of the BOI on the DATU PIANG. Will also, if you have more questions, I think Director CIDG will come up with his additional announcement. Then, Director of Crime Lab, as requested before, on the ballistics on the case of Mayor Cesar Perez. Then, we have also conducted a random drug test, and one personnel was positive. We'll be showing it. And finally, part of our financial reforms, okay? The accounting of pensioners and the stoppage of their pensions. No? So, ipipresent po yun mamaya. So, if you have time, let's proceed. Update of COVID-19 cases of PNP personnel. Next. You could see we have already 8,578 total number of cases. Okay? So, however, our current active case is only 439. Our recoveries is 8,112. So, for the past 1 week, since my last report, 59 new cases were recorded. No new death. So, as of the last more than almost 3 months, no recorded death na po muna kami. Now, as of today, yesterday, we have 19 new cases. Next slide. So, ito po yun. So, from March to today, we have 11,631 confirmed cases. Infections. 8,578 are confirmed cases. 1,222 ang close contact, 932 are suspects, and probables of 899. So out of the the 8,578 confirmed cases, 439 na lang po ang active. 8,112 ang recovered, 27 are dead. Next. So, these are our confirmed cases. Next. Ito naman, breakdown po namin sila from National Headquarters, Support Unit, and PROs. Ito po yun. These are just for confirmed cases. Para malaman nyo kung saan po ang concentrations. Next. So, ito naman po yung mga active cases natin. Lahat po ng mga active cases natin ay kung may mga symptoms ay nasa hospital, kung asymptomatic, nasa iba't ibang quarantine facilities po ng PNP or ng LGU. Yung mga direct contact ay nandoon po sa mga facilities po ng PNP for direct contacts. Next slide. Now, as of we have currently 25 po ang nasa hospital namin na minomonitor out of our active cases. No? So, 25 po niyan ay nasa hospital. And we're hoping na all of them will recover. Wala kaming problema sa 414 because these are asymptomatic in nature. Next slide. So, ito naman yung recovered cases namin by categories. National NHQ, National Support Unit, at saka sa Police Region Offices. Yan po yun. Next slide. So, ito naman po yung record sa namatay sa amin. So, mapansin nyo, isa lang po sa National Headquarters, marami po sa Police Regional Offices. Next slide. So, ito man yung mga new cases po natin. In terms of rank, 3 officers, 15 po ang PNCOs, isang INUP po. Next. So, ito yung mga random ito yung PCR test na kinandak namin. Total na po to. No? Out of more than 221,000 personnel, we have already conducted RT-PCR for 85,000 of our personnel, or roughly 38%. So, iba-iba po niyan. May mga personnel na more than 1 po ang swab test. So, little by little, we are already doing the targeted group testing. Next slide. So, in a pie graph, mapansin nyo, at least, lumalaki na po yung natitest po namin. Because you will know, we have already 2 molecular lab dito sa Camp Crame. One is managed by Crime Laboratory with 300 capacity per day test. One is in the health service with 120 capacity test. And another one, it was about to open, is yung molecular laboratory in Cebu City, which has a capacity of 80 tests. So, once ma-activate yun at mag-graduate po yung mga analyst namin doon at ka-technician, the Cebu lab will operate hopefully by the end of the month or first week of January. Next slide. So, ito naman po yung daily. Kung mapansin nyo, ito yung pinatali ko as promise sa inyo, yung mga daily occurrence. Tapos, in terms of the number of PCR conducted, daily din. Kung mapansin nyo, marami na rin kaming test. No? Pero mababa na ang infections namin. Okay? So, iba-ibang araw, iba-iba din yung number. So, yun po. So, napagtali na po namin to. So, inaccumulate na lang po namin yan. So, yan po. So, for example, on December 7, we have 262 tests. 21 po ang nag-positive noon. PNP-wide po yon. So, ganun po ang ginawa namin para ma-monitor po namin. Next. Ito naman just the bar graph presentation para ma-compare nyo po na marami kaming tinitest, mababa po yung mga infection namin. Na at least hindi na alarming masyado. Next. Ito naman, pinahimay ko by office. So makita nyo yung mga by unit, kung gusto nyo later on, kung ilan ang na-PCR, ilang percentage, ilan yung positive, since March to, at ilan po ang namatay. So ganito na po ang ginawa namin para easy monitoring po. Next. Ito naman yung sa mga support unit natin. So para malaman natin kung ano yung mga unit hindi nagtitest. Okay? Next. Now, dito makita nyo sa Police Regional Office, makita nyo in CRPO, ang test niya is 72% na. So may mga area pa tayo, kagaya ng 12, 11, 10, 9, ang baba ng test nila. We'll be asking them why. Pro 5, 5% lang, no? Ang bar, 6%. So, we'll be asking them why. In fact, we'll be wondering why bar as only 6% na test, 2 declared patay niya. No, mga ganun po yan. So, that is how we analyze. Because, then we also binangga natin to sa level of infections ng bawat area. So that's why we'd be encourage the regional directors to conduct what we call the preventive or the early detection test. Kasi part of the strategy ng gobyerno is early detection, na hindi natin hintayin na lumala or magka-symptom saka natin i-test. So this is also one of our guiding statistics now on how we direct our regional directors on their internal COVID response. Okay, next slide. So, with that, let's proceed to crime statistics. Next. So, this is a comparison of January 1 to December 10, 2019 and 2020. So, as you will observe, all crimes po decrease. Again, the decrease is recorded at 38%. Now, these are focused crime po. No? Ibig sabihin, dito kami nakamonitor that it really made a difference in the peace and order index in our country. So, nakita nyo, ang crime solution efficiency namin to solve the crime increase ng 1.35. Ang crime clearance efficiency namin decreased by 1%. So, yun na po yung comparison natin. So, you will see that still crimes, comparing the same data of last year, we have still maintained the decrease of 39%. Next slide. So ito naman yung graphical presentation. So para makita nyo rito na ang pattern is the same except itong pag-umpisa natin implement ng ECQ. No? From March, nag-dip siya ng April, tapos padandahan siya pataas. No? So as we open up the community and the economy, crime is started to rise also. So dito po kami interested, yung red line graph na yan, ito po yung 2020. So tinitingnan namin, pero just the same, mababa pa rin po siya compared sa last year or kaya nung January of this year. Ang pinakamataas for 2020 is yung January incident. Next slide. So ito naman yung comparison ng 8 focus crime last year and this year. So, it follows the pattern na nag-decrease talaga in a bar graph presentation. Next. So, ito naman yung bar graph presentation ng crime solution efficiency at saka crime clearance efficiency. Next. Okay. Just the same. Next. So, ito, tinignan namin, we also plotted yung per week because we're monitoring the crime citation per week. So, mapansin nyo, every week, tinitingnan natin kung ano po yung, saan po tayo nag-increase or decrease na week. So, next. So, this is the assessment that we have been, which we think caused the decrease of the 8 focus crime for this year. Of course, number 1 talaga niyan is yung the restriction of movement of the public and the implementation of curfew hours. Diba? Yung, lalo na yung in-implement po natin yung community-enhanced quarantine. So, talagang sobrang baba. Then, of course, kasama nito, yung intensified checkpoints namin, patrols, and other preventive police actions during GCQ, ECQ, and MECQ. Tapos, of course, yung active support ng other law enforcement agencies and force multipliers which help us curb the crime incidents. And maski pa meron tayong COVID-19, pandemic, hindi po namin tinigil or in-stop yung enhanced managing police operations namin. Yung synchronized implementation po ng search warrants on drugs, illegal gambling, firearms, at saka wanted person. Yan po rin po. Then, of course, we will also daw seeing na with the holidays coming in, is ito talaga yung binabantayan namin. Na sana hindi tataas yung COVID-19 infection at sana hindi rin biglang taas yung crime incidents natin. So we have already a different police interventions na implement po namin. Ang challenge namin dito on how to solve big cases ay dala din ng pandemic. Alam niyo kung bakit? Mahirap na po mag-identify kasi ngayon dahil lahat tayo may face mask. Diba? Lahat tayo may shield. So, identifying the suspect is very challenging po sa amin. So, but we have ways how to determine. We have some investigation technique and we're also using scientific investigation at saka yung tinatawag namin na smart policing para po ma-solve yung mga big aggregational cases po natin. Next slide. Now, kakibat po nito, we are also monitoring yung mga donations natin noong November up to present. I-present lang namin para po bigyan po namin ng pagpugay at saka pagkilala yung mga nagdo-donate po sa amin. No? Since lalo na yung November na grabe ang calamities natin brought by typhoons. Next. So for HRPO, ito po yung mga list of donors po natin. No? Kung ano po yung pinagdo-donate po nila. Okay? Yun po ang natanggap. No? At sino po ang nagtanggap. So, kasi yung ginagawa po namin ay we accounted. No? We accounted. Next. Okay? For NCRPO. Next. Next. Yan po yung mga photos po na yung natanggap po namin ng mga donations ay binibalik po namin sa community. Yan po yun. So, next. Yan po, nandito sa right facing the screen ay yung iba-ibang at number ng food packs na binigay po namin dyan. Sa Cagayan, next. Sa Isabela, next. Sa Marikina, next. Ito naman yung pinipare ng mga list of donations galing po sa Police Regional Office 2. Next. Next. Ito na po yung mga photo ng mga donations po nila. Ito po ay pinipare po ng Police Regional Office Headquarters para po doon sa mga police at saka sa public po. So initiative po to ng Regional Headquarters ng Pro 2. Okay, yan po yung mga donations po nila. Napansin nyo, nung nagpunta ako doon, pati yung chopper ginamit po natin na pang-distribute ng relief goods. Next. 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 Ito naman ang prepare ng Police Regional Office 3. Next. So, makita nyo na yan po. Yung mga kanila. Next. 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 Ito naman po ang Pro 5. So, mapansin nyo, yung mga sariling mga personnel namin at saka kagaya niyan, ang Pro 7 nag-donate doon. So, yan po ang mga donors natin na pina-facilitate po ng Pro 5. Next. Next. So, yan po yung photo po ng donations. Next. 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 Ito naman po sa Regional Police Office 6. Yan po. Okay. Next. Sa Procor. Next. Yan po yung photos. Next. Ito naman po sa logistics po. Nireceive po nila to. Pagkatapos, dinistribute po rin. And sa PICAG, these are the donations received by PICAG. Then the PGen has initiated for the distribution of these items to the different recipients. Ito po yung kanila, photo nila. Now, all in all, next presentation, pinamonetize ko po yung total donations. So, hindi pa po namin alam kung ilan yon. So, yung logistics po namin who is in charge for consolidating will try to monetize all the donations because lahat po ng mga donors po namin, including yung sarili naming personnel, ay binigyan po namin ng thank you letter at saka certificate at saka flag of appreciations for their good deeds and assistance to the PNP. Ito naman po yung other accomplishments namin. Okay? Next. Now, this one has been solved by Police Regional Office 1. So, I have talked to the Regional Director and he gave me briefing. So, ako na lang po magpe-present nito. No? Para po sa inyo. Next. So, ito po yung yung victim po natin. Ng si Virgilio Maganes. Media man po to, taga Pangasinan. Ang incident po nangyari po last November 10 between 5:49 to 6:17 a.m. He was shot by two suspect riding a motorcycle. Ang background po ng victim, he was the former radio commentator, columnist, freelance media and social media network. No? Yan po yung nangyari sa kanya. Now, after the arrest of the suspect, the motive is personal grudge. Okay? Next slide. Ito po yung suspect. No? Yung suspect na to, which were identified by the witnesses and the CCTVs, ni-raid po niya yung bahay. Ni-raid ng Pro 1 yung bahay. At minakuha po silang baril. Na yung baril na to ay pinabalistics, tiningnan kung ito ba yung ginamit during pagpatay kay ng victim. So, we're hoping na kung mag-match, it already confirms. However, the testimony of the two witness and the CCTV confirms already the identity of the suspect. Nahuli na po at pinala na po ito ng kaso. Now, yung isang kasama niya ay hinahanap pa po ng pulis. However, identified na rin po siya. Next. Now, ang second case natin, kung naalala nyo, yung SITG Hernando. Ito yung pinatay doon sa Valenzuela, yung nakamotor, which I already reported, na isa sa mga suspect nito ay police. So, when the case happens on October 9, hindi po namin binatawan to. Hindi ko to binitawan personally. I follow this case up. No? Kasi magandang development nito eh. Because we believe these are the groups na maraming ginawang robbery dyan sa may bandang northern up to Bulacan. So, yan po sila. So, next. So, ito po yun. Just a reminder. Next. Ito po. So, we follow up the case. We found the suspect, etc. Tapos, nag-file po kami ng kaso. Next slide. So, out of 6 identified suspects, 3 po ay naaresto at nag-surrender sa amin. Yan, si Edgar Machar, si Castro, pulis po to, at saka si Joan Kabatuan. So ito po yon. Now, next. 3 na lang yung hinahanap namin. Ang isa nito ay dismissed police din, no, si Anthony Cubus. So yung 2 nito ay kung mapansin mo, magkamag-anak po lahat yan. Sila po ay based sa Mikawayan, Bulacan. What is the latest development? Next. Ito po si Corporal Castro ay umamin po sa offense during the December 1 hearing. Nag-plead guilty po siya, no? For a lower offense from murder to homicide. Then, nung tinanggap ng judge yung plea guilty niya, ay siya po ay next. Yan po ang penalty niya. 17 years, diba? And may mga damages po siya. So yun po. So yun yung latest development dito. Kumbaga, talagang This one is a clear case na hinabol po talaga namin. No? So, at least, we are very sure na yung one criminal group operating in the northern portion of Metro Manila and Bulacan ay nabuwag po natin. Yan po ang nangyari niyan. Next slide. Now, ito naman, may latest development. Ito si Joanne Kabatuan also promised to cooperate with us para malaman kung sino talaga ang suspect pagpapatay kay Hernando. At based on his testimony na bibigyan niya at gagawin siyang mag-testify siya, free ha, walang promises kami doon, na ang suspect talaga pagpatay ng suspect ay yung kapatid ni Henry Rubio na nahuli because of the crime of rape. Na ang nagpahuli sa kanya ay si Hernando. No, ganun po yun. Tapos, ito si Rowena Rubio, which will be filed a case as the mastermind in killing Hernando, based on the testimony of Joanne Kabatuan. Now, ang second mastermind is yung kapatid ni Rowena na si Lisel Rubio. Live-in partner to ng isa sa mga suspect na si Narciso Santiago Akatukmol. Pabalik mo. Balik. Yan. Yung isa sa mga kapatid ni Rubio ay ka-live-in ni Narciso Santiago. So, yun po yung link. Forward. Ito ngayon ang follow-up na ifa-file po ng Valenzuela. So, nakita nyo, maganda ang pagka-follow up ng mga investigators natin at hindi iniwan. So, this is one of the case na gusto namin i-showcase at gagawin namin parang template para yung mga ibang investigators natin could learn from this experience of how Valenzuela solved the case na talagang hindi binitawan hanggat sa dulo. This is one of our classic case really. No? Next. So that is mine. So it's hold for a while because may presentation pang iba. Jigs, do you have? The director of CIDG will give the update on the 4 search warrant of arrest, 4 search warrants that they have implemented in the different areas of NCR. Go ahead, Jigs.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning to everyone. I am Police Major General Joel Napoleon Coronel from the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. Please show our presentation. Okay, we would like to present to the members of the media the result of the operations conducted by the CIDG for the past week, particularly pertaining to the service of warrants, search warrants in different areas here in Metro Manila, which resulted to the arrest of 7 suspects. As earlier reported in the media, the CIDG, National Capital Region Field Office, in coordination with the National Capital Region Police Office and other law enforcement agencies and units, applied search warrants from Regional Trial Court Branch 89 of Quezon City, wherein the warrants had been served in various locations. Sige. Okay, wherein the warrants had been served in various locations. One in Mandaluyong, another is in Santa Ana, Manila, third is in Greater Lagro in Novaliches, Quezon City, and another also in Quezon City in South Triangle. The warrants, upon the service by the CIDG elements, resulted to the arrest of the following personnel. Kindly show the persons. Sino ba nagpe-play? Okay, sige, next. Sige. Resulting to the arrest of the following personnel, si Mark Ryan Cruz, Romina Raizel Astudulio, Jaime Gregorio, Dennis Velasco, Joel Demate, Rodrigo Esparago, and Lady Ann Salem. And recovered from the possession are several high-powered firearms, both automatic rifles and pistols of different calibers, fragmentation and hand grenades and various explosives, ammunitions, assorted laptops, notes, paraphernalia, and also several personal properties found in their possession. For cases for violation of Republic Act 10591, which is the Comprehensive Firearms Law, and violation of PD 1866 as amended by Republic Act 9516, pertaining to the illegal possession of explosives, had been filed against the suspects in the different jurisdictions covering the places where they had been arrested. At present, the different suspects are held in detention. I understand no bail had been recommended by the prosecutor's office, and they will be facing criminal charges upon arraignment in the different courts. And they were assisted by counsel during the inquest proceedings. And to highlight to the members of the media that during the conduct of the search warrants, the operation, apart from having validly search warrants issued by a competent regional trial court, were witnessed by independent and third-party witnesses coming from the local government offices, barangay officials, to ensure that the police operating units were complying with the police operational procedures and that no human rights or individual rights had been violated in the conduct of the operations. So, sir, at present, the prosecutor's office had been resolving this case for filing of information with the different regional trial courts. They are presently under detention, and counsels have already appeared on their behalf to represent them in these cases. So if there are any questions from our friends from the media, I'll be willing to answer this point.
We'll just reserve the questions later. Thank you, Jigs. Now, unahin ko muna yung director ng Crime Lab before po yung BOI para tuloy-tuloy po tayo. The director of Crime Lab will give the results of the ballistics examinations related to the shooting of the Los Baños Mayor Perez. Go ahead, Steve Ludan.
Good morning to everyone. I am Police Brigadier General Steve Ludan, Director of Crime Lab. Please allow me to present some update on the continuing investigation over the killing of Mayor Cesar Perez of Los Baños last December 3, 2020, especially on the evidences or pieces of ballistic evidence that were recovered from the crime scene, as well as from the autopsy made over the body of the late mayor. Next slide. Last December 3, the Crime Lab assistant was sought by the investigators, and during that time, Police Lieutenant Jerry Reposar, during the processing of the crime scene, recovered 2 metallic jacket fragments and 1 lead core fragmented near the pool of blood where subject ballistic examination was conducted. Then later, during the autopsy, another 3 metallic jacket fragments was recovered from the body of the late mayor. Ballistic examinations conducted revealed that the metallic jacket fragments and 1 lead core fragment recovered from the crime scene and the 3 metallic jacket fragments recovered from Mayor Perez's body possessed the character of a 5.56 bullet jackets from a 5.56 firearm. However, no conclusion could be had as to whether or not they were fired from the same firearm due to the fragmented condition. Yung fragmented po, sinasabi natin dito, naging pera-pereso na po yung na-recovered na bullet. Further, the evidence recovered by the medical legal officer has been encoded in our firearm identification system database. Ito po yung pamamaraan natin para malaman natin kung yung isang na-recover na ebidensya ay may record with the crime laboratory. However, as of now, the pieces of evidence collected has no match as of December 10, 2020. Yun po yung latest update natin sa continuing investigation over the death of Mayor Perez. And on another issue, I would like to present also the continuing and relentless monitoring and internal cleansing over PNP personnel, lalong-lalo na laban po sa droga, na ayon doon sa ating programa ng ating Chief PNP. On internal cleansing, the PNP Crime Laboratory has been continuously conducting random drug tests over PNP personnel. Hindi lang po dito sa NHQ, kundi lahat po ito, nationwide. And in a random drug test conducted last December 2020, to participants of the finance course for police non-commissioned officers, Police Master Sergeant Leonardo Mariano Jr. yielded positive result for the presence of methamphetamine, or commonly known as shabu. This result was confirmed during the gas chromatography mass spectrometry here at the National Headquarters Crime Laboratory. Ito po yung latest na nahanapan natin ng positive result, at continuing po ito na ginagawa natin na random drug testing over several units po ng PNP. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Steve. Now let's go to the presentation of the Director for the IDM, the result of the Board of Inquiry in DATU PIANG. Go ahead, Marnie. Marnie, isama mo na yung, kasama ba dyan yung case na pinail na? Okay, go ahead.
Our Chief PNP, Police General Debold, Sinas, sir, the members of the command group, our DCA, Lieutenant General Elisar, sir, DCO, Lieutenant General Cesar Hotorn Binag, sir, and our TCDS, Lieutenant General Joselito Veracruz, sir. Other members of the directors for the different NUSUS and NASUS who are present today, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Today, I'm presenting to you the PNP Board of Inquiry report pertaining to the DATU PIANG harassment incident that happened last December 3, 2020. The sequence of my presentation is as follows. Of course, our references, the composition and objectives of the Board of Inquiry. I will also be giving you a short profile of DATU PIANG Municipality, the DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station and friendly forces, what happened, the harassment incident, actions taken by our troops, the findings and conclusions, as well as recommendations, and our latest update on the incident. First, our references is that there was a report from the Regional Director of PROBAR regarding the harassment incident in DATU PIANG, Maguindanao last December 3, 2020. From there, the Chief PNP, Police General Debold Sinas, directed the IDM to create a board of inquiry to investigate the DATU PIANG harassment incident. And the third one is the order issued by our DPRM, the letter order number NHQ LO-TWG 2020-228, pertaining to the creation of the Board of Inquiry and its operational audit team. Next slide, please. Shown to you on the screen is the composition of the board. The chairman is yours truly, and the vice chairman is the chief of the Peace Process and Development Center, headed by Police Brigadier General Eden Ogali, who personally went to the area and gathered pieces of evidence, made interviews, and talked to the SITG DATU PIANG of Probar. Its members are the deputy directors of the different directorates, the DDO of Directorate for Operations, the Deputy of Directorate for Operations, Police General, Brigadier General Olay, the Deputy of DI, Police Brigadier General Samala, and the Deputy Director of the CIDG, Police Brigadier General Enmo Diaz. Also with the composition composed of operational audit team came from the different offices of the PNP. We have also from the DO, the XO, from the DIDM, from the Crime Lab, DPCR, DI, of course, our intelligence group, legal service, and also from the CIDG. Following are the objectives of the BOI. One, to conduct a comprehensive investigation and determine if there are strategic, operational, and tactical lapses during the incident. To review the facts and circumstances regarding the incident. To determine also if there are the police and friendly forces response on the harassment. To identify gaps and areas that needs improvement, and to recommend policies and interventions or best practices to prevent similar incidents from happening in the future. And lastly, to determine commendable actions made by our PNP personnel. On the profile of DATU PIANG Municipality, it is a second-class municipality in Maguindanao Province and formerly known as Dulawan Municipality. It has a land area of 303 square kilometers and a population of 25,000 population with 90% Maguindanaoans and 10% Christians. The source of livelihood in the area is mainly agriculture, rice, corn, and coconut farming. And the LGO leaders are Mayor Victor Samama and Vice Mayor Nasser Abbi. The profile of DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station, there are 26 personnel only in that police station, composed of 1 PCO and 21 PNCO and 4 NUPs. They have 12 firearms, long firearms, and 20 short firearms. For their mobility, they have 2 Toyota Hilux 2008 model and 2020 model, which was burned during the harassment. They have also this Mahindra, but it's already unserviceable, and 1 motorcycle for their patrolling. The police population ratio given from the population and strength of personnel of DATU PIANG is 1:1,163. On DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station and Friendly Forces, shown on the screen, the green one are the armed forces units. We have the mechanized brigade, other battalions and companies were deployed in the area. We have also the Bureau of Fire Protection, and of course, the DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station. On the harassment incidents, as presented before, there were previous incidents before the attack. Arrest of 2 BIFF members last May 3, 2020. 2 motorcycle riding suspects threw a hand grenade in front of DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station. which resulted to damage of 3 vehicles owned by personnel of DATU PIANG. Arrested suspects were identified as Gialil Sultan and Baginda Muhammad Candado. Both are members of BIFF under Commander Kagi Bayan. Cases for violation of firearms law as well as anti-drugs were filed against the suspects, but were dismissed by the Provincial Prosecutor's Office for lack of evidence. Another is the declaration of persona non grata against Dawla Islamiyah and BIFF. The Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Maguindanao Province signed a resolution declaring that these groups are persona non grata in the province of Maguindanao. Another is the death of Abu Sufyan. Last December 1, 2020, elements of PNP-IG implemented a search warrant in Barangay Bagua, 2, Cotabato City. And with that, it resulted to the death of Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan is a member of Dawla Islamiyah who masterminded the 2018 New Year's Eve bombing of a shopping mall in Cotabato City. He also took part in the siege of Marawi in 2017. Another is the pursuit operations made by 40th Infantry Battalion of the Philippine Army last December 1, 2020, wherein they recovered from the BIFF were various high-powered firearms and ammunitions. Now, on the facts of the case, on December 3, 2020, at around 9 o'clock p.m., info was received by the groups of BIFF. That groups of BIFF led by Salahuddin Hassan and Kagi Kari Alan will attack the town and burn Santa Teresita Parish Church in DATU PIANG. The COP, together with 4 PNP personnel, upon learning the information, conducted mobile patrolling around town. While on patrolling, they noticed a group of more or less 30 armed men coming out from the market in east side and brandishing and firing their firearms while shouting, Allahu Akbar. At the west side, another group of armed men converged while continuously firing their firearms. Shown on the screen is a sketch of where the enemy is coming from. The harassment incident. The PNP personnel alighted from the patrol car and positioned themselves at the back of the church to have defensive position. That was after noticing that there were armed men in the east side and west side of the town. They left their patrol car and the armed men started firing towards the AP detachment and the church. An exchange of gunfire then ensued between the PNP personnel and the armed group also coming from the back side of the church. Overwhelmed by the number of the enemy, the PNP personnel maneuvered towards the back of Notre Dame School beside the church and held their defensive position. The whole incident lasted for around 2 hours, and armed men also burned the patrol car parked near the AFP detachment. Shown on the screens, the picture taken on the burned patrol car. Next, those actions taken by our troops hours before, upon learning that there is an impending attack the personnel of DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station conducted mobile patrolling around town. During that attack, they defended and held their position at the vicinity of the church, preventing the enemy's plan to burn the church. At around 12 midnight, reinforcement from the 34th IB based in Midsayap, Cotabato arrived with B-150 armored vehicles. Early in the morning, at 3 o'clock of December 4, reinforcement from Regional Mobile Force 14 arrived to provide operational support and establish checkpoints in the different egress and ingress of the town. At around 5 a.m., 2 teams from the 4th SAF Battalion arrived to assist and provide additional support. Same, the Provincial Director of Maguindanao, PPO, arrived also to verify the situation in the area. At same day, at 10 o'clock, the RD of Probar, Police Brigadier General Rodriguez, also arrived in the area to check and supervise the status of personnel, inspected damages, and oversee the disposition of the security deployment. Around 11:20 a.m., same date, the 2nd Mobile Force Company arrived for additional support in the area. If we notice, the different support from the PNP arrived and responded to that harassment. At 11:45, SOCO team of Probar conducted scene crime processing. Shown are the general view of the crime scene, mid-range view of the subject vehicle burned, other pieces of evidence gathered, green plastic containers, empty cartridges, bullet holes upon the church, and other areas that were fired upon. On December 6, 2020, around 3 p.m., the Vice Chairman of the BOI also proceeded to the area from Manila to conduct inquiry attended by the DRDO, the Probar, PD Maguindanao, SOCO, CIDG, and the personnel of DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station. Of course, the next day, the CPNP and other members of the different directorates also went there to inspect the area. Next, on the findings and conclusions, the harassment was perpetrated by the BIFF, led by Muhyiddin Animbang, also known as Commander Karialan, and Salahuddin Sagaya, also known as Salah Salik. The intelligence units of the PNP have monitored the plans of the BIFF and to attack DATU PIANG. Per revelation of the DDI, there were persistent reports that there were monitored plans on the attack of BIFF. The COP of DATU PIANG received the intelligence report of the attack hours before only during the incident took place, meaning it was not properly disseminated, the intelligence report from higher headquarters. There is a lack of appreciation in the gathered intelligence regarding the terror plans of the BIFF. No adjustment of the DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station personnel, strength and capabilities, and no strategic deployment of PNP mobile forces had been made. There is a lack of coordination and intelligence validation with the AFP counterparts and other stakeholders in the area. The resistance of personnel of DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station prevented the burning of Santa Teresita Parish Church by the BIFF. There are identified gaps that need further enhancement. The coordination mechanism between the PNP and other government security forces at the ground level should be improved on the intelligence sharing and movement of troops. There should be a speedy dissemination of intelligence that requires urgent actions to the end users. And there should be also enhancement of capacity and capability of the MPS in terms of manpower and equipment. As we noticed, there were only 22 personnel in that PNP personnel in that area, considering the population ratio is 1,126, and the ideal ratio is 1:500. So additional personnel to capacitate this municipal station. The strict implementation of PNP Memorandum Circular number 2016-059. These are the operational procedure in the conduct of condition situation response system. We have here in the PNP different levels of threats and courses of action to be followed. And the strategic deployment of PNP mobile forces to support MPS, which may be identified as prone to attacks, meaning these are the soft targets. Despite the overwhelming odds, there were around 130 plus BIFF, and the handicaps of the PNP personnel of DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station. Their actions were very commendable as it resulted to the prevention of more damages, particularly the burning of the church, and it also resulted to the repulsion of the enemy. The harassment made by the BIFF is purely terroristic acts to show that they are still a force to reckon with. Based on the BOI report's discussion and conclusion, the recommendations are as follows: strengthen and improve physical security of vital installations, enhance and improve coordination between PNP and AFP counterparts and other law enforcement agencies. Of course, review the existing peace and order and public safety plan of DATU PIANG Municipality. All over the country, there is that peace and order and public safety plans for each municipality. Of course, this should be in coordination with friendly forces in the area. Intensification of intelligence gathering through close collaboration with friendly forces and populace for its timely dissemination. Another is that with the implementation of peace agreement between the Philippine government and the MILF, shall we say that the Bangsa Moro Organic Law is already in effect. The platform must be utilized to enlist the support and cooperation of the MILF in the fight against the BIFF, especially in terms of intelligence and information sharing. For all we know, both MILF and the BIF are rebels, but the MILF embraced the Bangsamoro Organic Law, but these BIFFs are the breakaway group of MILF. Another is provide additional logistic supports to DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station and replace the burned police car. This recommendation was already given. The Chief PNP have given already the instruction to a directorate for logistics to provide and change the burned police patrol car. Also, remind COPs of MPS-prone attacks on the Memorandum Circular 2016-059. It should be regularly discussed during the police information and continuing education and other similar activities. The board also recommends that the DPRM to issue appropriate awards for the gallantry of the PNP personnel that stood their ground and defended DATU PIANG. And additionally, that this award will be given to them in one of the Monday flag raising at this headquarters, sir. Another is to revisit and enhance the strategic deployment of police mobile forces. Another is the RD PROBAR to assist the local government unit of DATU PIANG in the restoration of damages caused by the BIFF attack, to include damages in the church for the residents thereat to move on. Again, this was an idea that came from the CPNP himself. Conduct of the briefing of all PNP personnel of DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station. And after the debriefing, we also recommend that Captain Bayauna, the COP, be reinstated again as the COP of DATU PIANG Municipal Police Station. And lastly, the filing of appropriate charges in court against the BIFF leaders and members that made harassment in DATU PIANG. And the latest update, a case of multiple frustrated murder and destructive arson against Salahuddin Hassan Animbang Indong, also known as Kari Alan, and 133 others was referred to the Maguindanao Provincial Prosecutor's Office. Shown on the screen are the docket number of those cases that were filed. That ends my presentation. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much, Marnie. And the plus presenter is the Director for the PRSS, Police General Sidney Hernia. Go ahead, Sidney.
To our CPNP, Police General Debold Sinas, sir, the members of the command group, members of the directorial staff present, directors of NSUs, other officers, and of course, to our friends from the media, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. My presentation will be very short. Actually, it is just one slide, but my deputy requested me to add another slide. So my presentation will be 2 slides. And I hope with that number of slides, you will be able to capture what I would like to say this morning. Now, in calendar year 2019, we started the accounting of pensioners. And during that time, less than 50% of the 90,000 plus pensioners showed up and have themselves accounted by PRBS. With that very low turnout, there were series of diligent accounting of pensioners done by PRBS, and the different police regional offices join us in this endeavor. Now, this effort is part of our PNP's financial reforms, particularly in the protection of the PNP pension fund. Now, this accounting, which started in calendar year 2019, was further reinforced by another accounting activity dubbed as the Pensioner Ko, Sagot Ko project. The PKSK, this is the the acronym of Pensioner Ko, Sagot Ko. The PKSK project aims to renew the unique sense of camaraderie and fellowship between and among the more than 200,000 personnel in the active service and the estimated 90,000 pensioners by way of matching or pairing our active personnel with pensioners. It is a buddy system. One pensioner, one active PNP member. Now, the purpose of this buddy system requires that the active personnel body to regularly monitor the health, wellness, and condition of our pensioners. And in the process, we are at the same time accounting them and updating them, updating their records. Now, this project is supposed to be done quarterly. So by this week, we have already finished the first part of this PKSA, and as shown on the screen is actually the result of this PKSK project. Out of the 91,632 pensioners nationwide, 75,837 were found to be alive and still qualified to receive their pensions. 10,815 remains to be unaccounted or failed to show up physically during the conduct of this project, while 4,980 pensioners were discovered to be disqualified due to various causes. The accounts of these unaccounted and disqualified pensioners will be placed on a tag and hold status effective December 16, 2020. Tag and hold means the pensioner will no longer withdraw, or they can no longer withdraw their pension from their land bank accounts unless they submit the required documents to the PROs and to be submitted further to the national headquarters. The names of these pensioners will be posted in the PRBS website and other PNP social media platforms for reference. It is estimated that the PNP will be able to save an amount of 562,755,562 per month as a result of placing these accounts on a tag and hold status. Now, as an advice to our pensioners, next slide please. The PNP therefore would like to advise all these pensioners placed on tag and hold to report to the police station nearest to their residence for the designation of active personal body, who will in turn assist them in accomplishing the different forms. We have also provided hotline numbers for them to call so that they can relay their situation to us, and on our part, we can do the proper updating of their records. That ends my presentation.
Thank you, Sydney. Before we proceed to the question and answer portion, I'd like to request our DCO for some announcement on ASCOT matter. DCA, sorry, DCA.
Thank you, sir. With the main thrust of our CPNP on aggressive testing, we are expecting na tataas o dadami yung magpa-positive sa ating mga pulis. I know that for the past week, may mga questions galing sa media regarding this. But it is just logical na dahil nga nagtetest tayo ng marami, makikita natin doon na posibleng maraming mag-positive. In fact, nakita natin na maraming nag-positive doon na asymptomatic. Meaning, hindi nila alam na meron silang virus. Na yun nga ang ating target so that mailigtas natin yung kanilang pamilya or kasamahan sa opisina o ang komunidad na makahawa. At the same time, makapag-conduct tayo ng contact tracing para maiwasan natin yun. Based on the presentation of our CPNP earlier, 38.9% of 38.7% of the PNP personnel, including the NUP, or 85,000 out of the 221,000, have been subjected to testing at least once. At ito ngayon, base sa breakdown na pinakita niya kanina, doon sa NHQ or National Headquarters, umaabot na sa 66% or 2/3 na yung natetest natin. Well, before a week ago or 2 weeks ago, yan is mababa pa lang pero tumataas dahil nga ang ating concentration ng ating testing is sa Metro Manila. For the National Support Unit, around 44% na ang natest. But for PROs, 32%. Pero yung sa PRO na yon, 32% yung sa 17 PROs, pero sa NCRPO, 72%. Dahil nga, Metro Manila remains to be the epicenter. At dahil ang ating molecular laboratories ng PNP ay nasa Camp Crame at susunod pa yung sa Cebu and sa Davao. At dahil nga epicenter pa rin dito, it is but logical na ang ating effort is mag-concentrate tayo sa pulis na nakabase sa NCR. Base sa data ng DP, we are focusing on around 38,000 police personnel including NUP. 23,000 of which, or 23,622, ito ngayon yung personnel ng NCRPO. Then we have 10,008 na Krami-based, yung na-assign dito sa loob ng Krami. And around 4,452, ito ngayon, yung ibang mga units na nasa labas ng Krami, pero within NCR. Usually, these are NSUs na NCR naka-assign. So a total of 38,000 or 17% of the total 221. So yung sinasabi natin na i-maximize natin, not necessarily possibly the whole of 221,000 dahil yung iba ng mga PRO naman, while it is true that kung wala man tayong PNP molecular laboratory sa kanila, through our regional directors, may effort sila in coordination with LGUs and other concerned agencies para magkaroon din ng testing ang mga pulis natin. Pero yung sinasabi natin na gusto natin na maging 100% na lahat matest initially for the 38,000 personnel na naka-assign dito sa Camp Crame. And dahil nga pinalakas na through the PNP leadership, itong ating testing ngayon na nakaka-maximize na tayo up to 420 daily. Whereas before, hindi natin naatin yun dahil nahanap nga natin yung mga factors, di ba? Yung napag-usapan natin na yung ating DPRM is identifying kung sino dapat ang magte-test. Pangalawa, itong correct data through our CODA. PNP CODA has been activated effective yesterday. So from city digs na masyadong complicated, tayo po ay nag-migrate na dito sa PNP CODA effective kahapon. At ito na ginagamit ng ating mga PNP. At because of that, we required all our personnel, particularly ito nagkakantak ng swab test, bago ka pumunta doon, may correct kang data para hindi ito magkukonsume pa ng additional na time doon sa ating processing. And the organized swabber, na dahil nga sa instruction natin CPNP, health service, supported by MRF or itong ating medical reserve force, sila nagkakandak ng swabbing from 6 to 9 o'clock in the morning. And then, the reporting system. Kagaya sinabi po nga natin, once na malaman ng result, meron tayong system generated na tinetext agad initially yung mga nag-undergo ng test, whether positive or negative, para malaman mo kung ano yung initial result mo. Subject to the certification to be done by the molecular pathologist, and then saka kapadala ulit ng text message para sa confirmation. Meaning, gusto natin na matay natin yung 24-hour na target natin na mailabas from the time na you are swab up to the time na nalabas na ang result natin. So, alongside of this, minabuti ng ating ng CPNP na i-renovate ngayon itong ating isolation facilities in Camp Crame. Dahil nga sinasabi natin na we are expecting na maaaring dumami yung magpa-positive because of the aggressive testing, dapat naman handa tayo sa mga isolation facilities. For Metro Manila, na-establish na itong mga isolation facilities to. Meron tayo sa Bikutan, meron tayo sa SPD area, at meron din tayo doon sa Nice Hotel na pinagkakaloob sa atin. Pati na rin itong nasa Ultra at saka pati doon sa PICC. But more than that, here in Camp Crame, kung meron dito mag-positive agad dyan sa Kiangan Hall po na maaaring operational na within this week, andyan kayo yung triage natin. So malalaman from there kung ikaw ba ay asymptomatic, dadalhin ka agad sa sinabi natin earlier na isolation facilities, at kung symptomatic naman, kaya na po dito yan. Hindi na sa hospital, pero sa Kiangan. At least 60 beds po ang inihanda doon para sa ating mga symptomatic with symptoms from moderate to severe na pwede nang i-address immediately subject to further assessment para dalhin pa sa ibang hospital kung sinasakali. These are equipped with medical supplies and equipment para po naman sa ating mga kapulisan. So, from time to time, through the PIO, we will be updating you with the data doon sa mga pulis na nagpapositive. Ang bottom line dito, huwag tayo maalarma kung dumami man ang mga pulis, lalo na sa Metro Manila, na nagpapositive. Hangad natin na malaman talaga sila through testing para masagawa natin itong ating contact tracing at maiwasan ang kanilang pamilya na mahawa dito, pati na rin ang komunidad na kanyang pinaglilingkuran. Maraming salamat. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bok. Liz here. Joe, meron ka, Joe? Wala na. So that's all. Now we're ready to answer follow-up questions from our media friends. Go ahead po. Sino po mauna?
Thank you, sir. The floor is now open for any questions or clarifications from our friends from the press corps.
Morning,
Leia
sir.
Ilagan, ma'am.
Sir, kay Crime Lab po, Crime Lab Director, sir. Sir, yung question din namin to last week na based po dun sa ginawa nyong, nalalaman po ba pala sa based sa ginagawa nyong autopsy or investigation kung saan yung unang naging tama ni Mayor Perez? Kasi may tatlo po siyang tama ng bala. Sa ulo, sa shoulder, at sa katawan. Thank you, sir.
Magandang umaga po ulit. Doon po sa findings ng ating SOCO na nag-conduct ng autopsy, nabanggit lang po doon na ang tama niya to the head, to the trunk, and the right shoulder. But as to the sequence, kung paano naganap, hindi po conclusive yon. Yun po yon. Siya yun po yung kinamatay niya, may tama sa ulo, sa trunk, and then to the right shoulder.
So, sir, hindi nakikita kung alin doon yung nauna?
Hindi po. Oo. Maganda sana kung merong data na nung sinubject sa test yung mga fragmented bullets na na-recovered and we have data, maganda sana kung may existing data tayo. So, possibility is that the firearm could have been hindi registrado o loose firearm and doon po tayo mahirapan paano natin mai-connect yung whatever firearms that we have on record or problema kung wala talaga, lalo na yung mga loose firearms. Because all firearms now, especially those that are being procured, either bago or transfer, dadaan po yan sa ballistic examination po. At meron po tayong record yan.
Sir, yung bala, first time po ba o bihirang mangyari na kapag tumama ay nagpipira-piraso yung bala na yon? O meron ng mga insidenteng ganun dati?
Sa ito pong incident na ito, yung po yung lumalabas. But I believe there are also other instances previously that similar nature na galing sa 5.56. 5.56 po yan, usually galing po sa M16 rifle. Nag-i-splinter po talaga yan kadalasan pag naiputok yan.
So, normal pala yun, sir, na kapag tumama, nagpipira-piraso yung bala dun sa M16.
Opo,
Na galing sa
usually may mga bala rin na may halo na sumasabog. Yun po yun. Mga
Thank you,
special
sir.
bullets.
Thank you, sir.
Next question from Third Ann Malonzoman.
Morning, sir. Sir,
Saan
dun sa DATU PIANG, sir, may makakasuhan ba? Kasi sinasabi niyo may lack of coordination and intelligence validation on the part na parang hindi, na-inform ba ang AFP na may ganitong intelligence report na natanggap ang kapulisan, sir?
These are the findings of the BOI na binigay and submit na basa ko na review. And part of this, it will be, we give also our counterparts sa AAP, sa 6ID, yung result ng BOI namin. So, it's up to them whether they will, but we'll coordinate with them kung ano po nangyari. As to kung may mapailan ng kaso, ay wala naman. We just have to correct ourselves. I think pareho yun sila, may natanggap. Okay? But ang point lang is, ang ibig sabihin ng BOI, hindi nag-share, but they already know. Diba? So, there is something na siguro hindi nakapag-share kung ano yung actual na harassment, dating, ganun. But I think everybody knows already na yung mga government forces doon. That's why they are ready also. We'll just strengthen our bond, our cooperations with them.
So, sir, ipapadala niyo rin sa kanila yung
Yes.
findings ng BOI?
Yes, bibigyan namin sila ng kopya ng BOI for their reference. Kung ano pong gamit sa kanila, nasa kanila na po yun.
Sir, were they included in the investigation conducted by the BOI?
Yeah.
If pwede lang po namin malaman. Kasi
Yes.
sir, may kung involved ba na may kumbaga nakuhanan ba ng statements yung sinasabi ng militar? Kasi may sinasabi yung Joint Task Force Central spokesperson na apat na military personnel ang lumaban, at ang sinasabi niya yung mga CCOP, nakita nila nakasakay sila sa police mobile, nakita nila yung mga BIFF, umalis sila at nagtago. At ang lumaban daw, sir, ay yung mga apat na militar army personnel, sir.
I will let the head of the BOI to answer it first before ako sasagot. Go.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. Based on your question, yung sinasabi mong nagtago, again, our chief of the PPDC proceeded in the area to gather statements or evidence. But in that case, while it's true that there were reports that is like that, but again, he was not able to get a statement from the residents or from any personnel in the area.
Follow up. Okay, that's the statement of the Army. We will not anymore fight it over, okay? But what's good is that if that's their claim, there's a separate claim kasi sa amin sa pagpapagandang lalaki tayo. But we're just happy that we receive the good feedback from the municipal mayor, and he himself has praised the police in defending DATU PIANG. And nakita nyo na save po yung simbahan. Now, kaya nga pinakita namin yung detachment ng army ay nasunog. Katabi po doon yung mobile namin dahil doon iniwan ng pulis para hindi nga sana madamay nung pumasok sila sa simbahan. So with that alone, bahala ka na mag-conclude.
I respect that, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, last na on that
Thank you.
matter. So wala pong katotohanan na ang target lang talaga nila during that attack is the COP, sir.
No, wala pong katotohanan yon.
Thank you, sir.
Next is from Marie Sumali, GMA7, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. General Sinas, may we ask how exactly will the presence of the Santa Cops make a difference, especially in highly populated areas where people don't really listen and take seriously the reminders or the warnings of the policemen? We've seen several times, we've covered several times, for example, Divisoria. Are you going to also put Santa Cops there? How exactly will their presence make a difference? Kasi even if the policemen continuously give warnings to wear their face shields and face masks properly, it really seems like those people there are not following any warnings or any reminders. Nothing happens. It's the same thing all the time. People are wearing their masks on their necks and their face shields on their foreheads. So, ano po ba ang nangyayari?
Aside from our continuous dialogues with our partners doon po, with the local and other mga force multiplier namin, we continue to deploy our people and reminding them. So, yun po yung gagawin namin. Pagsabihan at kausapin. At sabihan yung mga organizers doon, yung mga in charge, na tulungan ang police na mag-impose to wear the proper mask and shield. Yun po yung ginagawa namin. At may iba naman, nag-respond naman, na pag nilapitan ng pulis ay sumusunod naman. So, yun lang siguro, no? At hindi na po, nagbigay na po ko ng instructions ay hindi na po arestuhin. Kausapin na lang at kung may makita, i-correct na lang. Kung walang mask, bigyan ng mask. Kung walang shield, bigyan ng shield para po ma-impose natin. Now, if para maiwasan na rin yung reklamo na inaaresto, ganun, hindi na po muna na-arrest ko. Ang violation lang naman is yung improper wearing of mask and shield. So, we have given instruction na dapat i-remind na lang, lapitan at pagsabihan. Karamihan naman po ay sumusunod, ma'am.
Sir, can you just give us a difference? Where exactly will you deploy Santa Cops and where to deploy social distancing patrollers?
Okay.
Tsaka ano po yung difference na mamimake kapag Santa Cops ang mga i-deploy sa isang specific area?
Okay. Actually, mapansin mo, kunti na lang yung Santa Cop. Diba? Marami na pong social distancing patrols. I did not discourage the Santa Cop. Diba? I did not discourage them. But hindi ko rin ini-encourage. What we are directing for our units to deploy social distancing. Yan po ang doon. So ngayon, may mga ibang unit na na-receive namin, nag-deploy sila ng Santa Cop para lang po siguro malibang yung mga tao at makot yung attention nila at nabigyan po ng instructions. But very, minimal na lang po. What we are really need is the social distancing patrollers po.
Sir, with regards to the issue on parties, kasi of course, di ba, it has been discouraged by the authorities for people to still hold Christmas parties. Ano po ang gagawin ng Philippine National Police dun sa mga mahuhuling nagpa-party pa rin? At ano ang gagawin ng mga police kung halimbawa sakaling mapakiusapan na, Sir, Pasko naman eh.
Okay. I leave that to the commanders. Diba?
But sir, kung meron lang kayong directive, kasi para lang general, kasi this is a national order by the DILG So of course, we need a directive from the higher ups, including, of course, from you, the Philippine National Police Chief.
We have issued the directive na walang party. Kaya nga hinuli nga ng kwan yun eh, ng ano to, ng Chief of Police ng Station 3 ng NPD, yung nagpa-party sa ano, sa sementeryo. So sinabi mo pinakausapan sila ng police mag-party sila dahil Christmas, I leave it to the commanders. The directive has been issued, guidelines has been issued, pronouncement has been given, nandun na po lahat yan. So, and I think our commanders is doing fine in implementing it. Okay? Now, kung may nakiusap sa kanila, nasa kanila po yun. Di ba? At they knows already kung ano po mga specific instructions. Okay? So, we leave it to them kasi nga, they are already equipped with the various directives. Okay? So, they already know what to do.
Sir, will there be additional deployment, especially the Christmas is already coming, Simbang Gabi na po tomorrow, ang anticipated Simbang Gabi na po starting tomorrow, December 15. So will there be additional deployment of police personnel, social distancing patrollers to different areas where there will be convergence?
We have already issued directives on our preparation for the Simbang Gabi. All the chief of police, provincial directors, and city directors were already directed to coordinate with mga rectors, mga parish priests on the Simbang Gabi in order to impose the directive of the NITF for 30% only ang pwedeng pumasok. And I think they are complying. Yesterday, I went to Quiapo, I went to Baclaran, and talked to the administrators and rectors, and they are complying. In fact, they have already tried their best to limit, no? Pati sila na mismo, yung mga kaparian natin at saka yung mga laymans natin have prevented the devotees to not to enter and to observe the proper guidelines. And we're very happy to that. The less intervention of the police inside and within the perimeter of the church, the better. Para po mas maganda at hindi po mapulaan. So far, our commanders down the line are implementing at coordinating. We have more deployment sa mga simbahan kasi traditionally, doon po nagkukumpulan. After that, Christmas is doing, we have our own directive also on the commanders on the different activities na dapat saan i-deploy po yung mga tao. So, bawat po activities ng Christmas ay palagi naman po sinisecure ng buong kapulisan.
Sir, one last. May we get an update on the results of the Philippine National Police probe on Secretary Roque and Senator Manny Pacquiao's mass gathering events?
Okay. I could not give you the update now because pina-finalize pa namin yung i-report ko kay SILG. No, nandoon na po sa akin, nire-review ko na po at may kunti corrections lang. And sorry muna, Marie, I could not tell you. I will wait for the guidance of SILG. Ayoko po pangunahan. Kasi baka mamaya, hindi lang po kasi ako nautusan doon eh. Pati yung DILG ng Region 7 at saka ng Region 4A ay also nag-conduct ng investigations. Baka mamaya pag nilabas ko yung findings namin at banggaan kami, hindi naman po maganda. So we'll just wait for the pronouncement of SILG, ma'am.
I perfectly understand. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is Ann Soberano, Bombo Radio. Ma'am.
Sir, magandang tanghali. Buenos dias, sir, Chief. Sir, napag-desisyon na po ba ng PNP Command Group yung magkaroon tayo ng holiday break, yung ating mga kapulisan?
Yes. Okay. And however, hindi pa naman pina-finalize because I'll be calling after this command conference yung all directorial staff, ang D-staff po, to come up with a final stand whether mag-Christmas break. But personally, ako, for the longest, ilan na, 9 to 10 months na tayo, no? I think some of us deserves a break. So of how we do that, and how we implement it, ay yun pag-usapan po namin after sa press ko na to po. Then, saka namin i-issue po. Kasi kailangan na rin siguro na pagbigyan namin konti. Hindi naman, mga siguro mga 1/4 o 1/3 of our force, kailangan mag-break din kasi marami naman po talagang hindi pa nakauwi because of pandemic. So we will make arrangement. In fact, initially, kagaya nung nasa NCRPO ako, yung mga kasamahan namin na gusto umuwi sa probinsya na walang sasakyan, ay nag-provide po kami ng sasakyan para po makabisita po sila sa pamilya. At kami na rin tumutulong para maswab po sila para po magka-access po. So gagawin po namin yan dito. We'll just finalize things. But what is definite, I think I'm in favor of giving our personnel the Christmas break. Is staggered lang, hindi kalahati. Maybe 1/4 muna, then rotate po tayo para everybody has the chance to visit their family also during holidays.
Sir, are you also amenable, sir, yung muzzling ng barel ng ating mga kapulisan on the New Year, sir, o ngayong Kapaskuhan? Yung pagselyo ng baril ng ating mga kapulisan, gagawin po ba yun ngayon ng Philippine National Police?
Hindi na po, kasi nagpag-umpisa na po ng mga previous commanders siya na hindi na at naging effective naman at may restraint at disiplina po karamihan sa amin. And it should be proven na maski may tape ka, kung gusto mo magbaril, gagawin mo. Secondly, sometimes it helps help us yung quick response. Kasi nga, may time nag-respond ka, nakalimutan mo na mayroon palang tape yung baril mo, so maghihisitan ka. So this time, I think majority or all of the policemen were already informed and they have the proper training and discipline. So we rely na hindi na po magtitape po ngayon.
Pero sir, kung sino yung magpaputok ng kanilang armas, magiging
Dismiss sa service.
Okay. So yun yung babala nyo, sir, sa mga pulis.
Yes.
Sir, on the other issue, sa campaign naman sa terrorism, sir, kasi last week and this week, sunod-sunod yung neutralization sa mga local terrorist group members. Pero how certain po ang mga operatiba natin na yung na-neutralize nila ay yun yung tao na talagang target natin? Kasi may lumabas sa post ni Governor Mujib Hataman ng Basilan, sir, na yung inaresto ng ating mga kapulisan sa Basilan ay hindi naman daw totoong bandido po yun, General.
I think we have to confer sa kanya, no? Kasi nga, na on our records, yun po yun. What is certain, may warrant of arrest po yun. Okay? So, the allegation of, the comment of Congressman Kwan is, comment po niya yun, at hindi ko naman po i-disregard yun, magko-coordinate po sa kami sa kanya. I'll be visiting Zamboanga City this weekend, this Saturday. I will arrange for a visit and a dialogue sa kanya. What we are doing is, may record po kami. Meron pong data na kinokolate po ang IG natin. At hindi ko rin po pwedeng baliwalain yon kasi PNP data po yon. PNP records po yon. So si Congressman Hataman ay isa lang sa mga magiging source natin. And pangalawa, I have already planned to visit also the army units in the place. At tanungin kung nagko-compare. Based on our commanders on the ground, nagko-coordinate po sila sa army. We have, may mga joint intel meeting kami, lahat-lahat. So, yung mga pangalan yan ay lumalabas. So, siguro kausapin lang namin siya muna kung ano talaga ang reason bakit niya nasabi po yun.
Salamat, sir.
Next is Sir Mark Makalalad, sir.
Sir, good morning po. Sir, follow up lang dun sa question niya. Ang sabi kasi sa statement ni Congressman Hataman, General Sinas, baka naman pwede mong tingnan ng mga pinagagagawa ng mga tauhan mo. Hindi lang po ito una. Sana huling kalokohan nyo na ito sa aming probinsya. So sir, may mga record na raw ng mga previous arrest na hindi naman din daw lihitimo.
Actually, hindi naman. Ang gusto lang naman niya is i-lower yung kuan kasi they're protecting the name of Basilan, 'di ba? Para mapaganda yung name ng Basilan. But it's not the point of whether totoo or hindi. Lahat po 'yan may mga warrant. And before we implemented, verified, confirmed, and verified 'yan. Hindi lang dahil mga gusto lang hulihin. Again, we will confer with Congressman Hataman para malaman po namin kung ano talaga ang gusto niya.
Thank you. Kay Major General Jigs Coronel naman po.
Go ahead.
The Commission on Human Rights on Sunday urged the police to address allegations of anomalous arrest. Kasunod po nung pagkaka-aresto nung 7 individual nung International Human Rights Day. Meron daw pong mga irregularities doon sa nangyaring pag-aresto at nagiging target na naman daw po yung mga activists at human rights workers.
Okay, again, as I explained earlier, the operations conducted by the PNP, led by the CIDG, are all covered by search warrants validly issued by the Regional Trial Court, Branch 89 of Quezon City. These warrants have been applied for based on information, credible and reliable, provided by informants to the court who examined these witnesses under oath. And at the time of the service of these search warrants, the operations were also witnessed by independent third parties coming from the local government units and the barangay officials who were present during the conduct of the search and raid operations. It is precisely for this reason, if they have claims coming from the CHR or any other body that anomalies or irregularities had been committed by the PNP, we are welcome to address this. But so far, based also on the information provided by our operating units and even members of media who were present at that time, there are no reports indicating that such violations had been committed. Again, the operation was compliant with police operational procedures. We have observed due process. And in fact, the arrested suspects had been informed of their constitutional rights. Rights to have to remain silent, to have counsel, and to be assisted by counsel of their choice, and precisely why these cases had been referred to the prosecutor's office for inquest proceedings, where they were assisted also by counsels.
Thank you.
Next is Sir Alfred Dallison. Sir, please.
Good morning, sir. Kay Chief PNP, sir. Sir, yung automatic naman, madi-dismiss yung nag-positive sa drug test nung isang araw. How many na po yung police na napapadismiss mo so far? Kung may record ka since your NCRPO days.
Fred, I'll give you the records on the next press con. Okay. Now, ang peculiarity kasi nito, ng magda-drug test tayo, ang nag-iimbestiga kasi, ang nagsasama, nag-pre-charge at saka summaring is IAS, not the Police Regional Office. So, there was promised directives na ang mag-imbestiga IAS. So, hindi na po namin nalalaman ang progress ng report. Kaya nga ako, sabi ko nga sa iyo, when I was in Region 7, I have 9 doon na nag-positive. Nung nandito ako sa NCR, before ako nag-Chief PNP, I have 18. So I've been looking for that, kung na-dismiss na ba yung iba dyan o wala. Kasi iba nag-aul na lang eh. So we are now reviewing the possibility of returning back the jurisdiction sa mga chief of police at sa mga regional directors natin to fast-track the investigations. Sa ngayon, I could not give you kung ilan na. Hindi ko nga masabi sa iyo kung yung 18 na nag-positive sa NCR, kung ilan na yung na-dismiss because hindi ko pa po nakita, no? Since nag-occupy ako. So maybe next week, I could give you the data, Fred.
Thank you, sir. Sir, sa PRBS, sir. Yung record mo, sir, nung doon sa pension funds, yung unaccounted and unreported na 10,815 na pensioners, ano po mga reasons na they failed to show up physically?
Just a background, nung in-implement namin itong PKSK project, kasama po natin dito ang different police regional offices. So sila po ang naatasan na mag-provide ng mga active personnel body doon sa mga pensioners. So we provided the list of pensioners at yun ay ipiner nila. No? Nung nagkaroon na ng mga pair or body itong mga pensioners, pinuntahan po ito isa-isa ng ating mga kapulisan. Now, itong 10,815, ito po yung mga iba't ibang reason na, ano? Ito yung mga, ang sabi, lumipat na ng kanilang residence. Yung iba ay nasa abroad na. Yung iba ay na-lockdown sa iba't ibang probinsya. Maraming dahilan, ano? Maraming dahilan. Yung iba naman very uncooperative. Hindi nagkipag-cooperate sa ating mga kapulisan. So ito yung total number, no, ng mga pensioners na hindi talaga na-submit ng ating mga regional offices. Wala silang na-submit na record na ito ay nakita nila at hindi definite, no, yung kanilang report sa amin. So in order to address that, we are forced, no, based on our policy, to tag and hold yung kanilang pensyon. So that kung nasaan man sila, kahit nasa ibang bansa sila, they will be, of course, magpapakita sila na sila ay buhay pa at papakita nila, for example, nasa abroad sila, nasa Amerika, papakita nila kung sila ba ay Pilipino pa or baka Amerikano na. So, yung kanina na ipinresent ko, yung advisory namin, no, especially for those na hindi pa nga na-account ng ating regional offices, no, down to the police stations, we presented yung numbers, no, the different hotlines na pwede nilang tawagan. But the very practical way for them is pumunta sila sa police station na pinakamalapit sa kanilang bahay. Doon sila magpa-account. Alam na po ng ating mga kapulisan yan dahil itong project na to ay matagal na po nating na-launch. Ilang buwan na. So, aware na po ang ating mga kapulisan sa project na ito. Itong police ko, pensioner ko, sagot ko. So, hopefully, yung 10,815 na yan, in the coming days ay isa-isang magpapakita sa atin. Hopefully. No, kung meron man dyan na hindi talaga magpapakita, meron po tayong proseso that they will be deliberated by the pension board. Pagkatapos po ng deliberation ay they will be recommending for the permanent deletion of those pensioners sa ating master list. Thank you po.
Sir, question lang. Yung sa records nyo, gaano nakatagal yung karamihan dito? Kasi kung illegal lang nagkiklaim sila ng funds, pension funds, ibig sabihin, na-cheat nila yung government for how many years na? Kasi sabi mo, makakapag-save tayo ng halos 600 million a month.
Okay, that is the presumption, no? That is the presumption that these 10,800 pensioners are all disqualified and they are still receiving the pension. So, parang na-save natin yung about 560 million, no? On the assumption na talagang disqualified sila. Now, malalaman po natin yan in the coming days kapag ito po ay lumutang sila at nagpa-account po sa atin. Now, yung tanong na yung iba dyan ay posibleng matagal nang tumatanggap ng pension at talagang disqualified na, well, meron po tayong pamamaraan on how to recover itong sinasabi nating overpayment, no? For example, yung isang pensioner ay namatay, no? Kapag meron siyang legal beneficiary or meron siyang asawa, ang ating proseso po ay inililipat doon sa kanyang asawa, yung kanyang pension. So that is 75% of his or her pension. Now, kung matagal nang na-disqualified yung pensioner at hindi agad na ilipat, nagkakaroon tayo ng overpayment, yung 25%. So paano natin i-recover yon? Once we transfer yung kanyang pension doon sa kanyang asawa, i-deduct po natin yon. So, isa yan sa pamamaraan on how we can recover the overpayment. Thank you.
I'll add up, Fred. this has been going on for the past few years. That's why this was started by the project of General Gamboa. No, pinagpatuloy lang namin to. In fact, 1 year namin ginawa tong verifying. So we come to the point na during my time, we have decided to, after all what we have done, we have to cut. No? That is 15,000 yan. So lahat po yan ay automatically i-cut na natin. And let them prove if they really exist. No? Kasi hindi namin alam kung saang lupalop na sila eh. After all, sa dami na nang ginawa namin ng mga accounting, kinakatok na po yung mga bahay, nilolocate, tinatawagan. So I think it's their time naman to reciprocate our actions. Kasi ang paniniwala namin, ang iba rito ay already, yung paso na. Ibig sabihin, from bata ka pa, umabot ka na sa age of 18, which you are not in alam nila na mayroon na kaming kinakasuhan. No, na marami na kaming kinakasuhan at kakasuhan pa kung alam namin nagbabiolate. Para po ma-prevent natin na abusuhin yung pension system po ng PNP. Okay ba, Fred? Okay na yun? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Last two questions. The last one, I guess, is Lynn Olavarrio. And then follow-up question from Third Ann Malonzo. Ma'am Lynn Olavarrio. After saya kay Ma'am Lynn.
Reaction lang po na dun sa nabiktimang policewoman sa Cubao, Quezon City ng basag kotse na nakawan daw po siya ng halos 2 milyong pisong halaga ng pera at mga gamit.
Pakiulit po.
May biktima po na policewoman, sir, na basag kotse po sa Barangay Horseshoe sa Cubao, Quezon City at halos 2 milyong piso po yung halaga nung mga gamit and perang nanakaw.
Okay. Na-report na yon at police officer po yon, nandoon sila, kumain sila doon. Inimbestigahan na po yon ng QCPD and I have given instructions sa QCPD to investigate the case and refer kasi ang biktima noon ay PNP officers po. And as of now, wala pa pong silang update sa investigations. Maybe in the future, pag meron na po, we'll give you the update po, ma'am.
Next. Follow-up from Third Ann Malonzo, ma'am.
Sir General Eliazar, good morning. Good afternoon na. Sir, 2 questions lang. Sir, priority ba ng PNP yung pag-test doon sa mga police na naka-deploy sa streets? Kasi syempre, mas vulnerable sila na ma-infect ng virus. And next, yung molecular lab sa Davao, sir, kailan planong buksan yun, sir?
Yes, dun sa unang katanungan, tama yun. Priority, itong mga frontliners natin. Siyempre, mga pulis naman natin, merong admin, merong sa operation. And dun sa ating 420 na allocated, automatic doon na 50 ay sa NCRPO. At pinaubayan na ngayon sa regional director through the R1 kung sino yung 50 na yon. And that is over and above doon sa NCRPO na meron din sila na may mga contact pa na iba na pwedeng mag-undergo ng testing yung ating mga pulis. Dito naman sa ibang lugar, DPRM ngayon nag-identify. Kagaya sinabi nga natin, since sa epicenter ng Metro Manila at nandito yung 2 molecular laboratories natin, it's but proper na talagang lahat muna na nasa Metro Manila ay magkaroon ng testing at least once. And yung mga susunod ngayon, depende na sa kanilang priority as determined by DPRM. Now, regarding dun sa Cebu at saka sa Davao, iniintay na lang na ma-certify at mabigyan ng authority to operate coming from DOH, pati na rin yung training na lahat. Nakahanda na yung mga gamit, napuntahan na actually ni Chief itong mga lugar na ito at iniintay na lang na mabigyan na ng authority to operate. Para magamit na ngayon, itong 2 molecular laboratories natin, isa sa Visayas at isa sa Mindanao.
Sir, sorry. Yung 50 per day yon, sir? 50 personnel per day?
For NCRPO.
For NCRPO.
Kasi meron namang iba pa, na-establish na kasi dati noon na ni Chief doon sa lugar na yon, na meron silang iba pa na nagbibigay pa ng libre din for us, for NCRPO. So, the rest of the 420 ngayon, ito ngayon yung mga nasa Krami Base, as well as yung NSU na nakabase sa Metro Manila.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Follow-up from Ma'am Leia.
Morning, sir. Kay Chief PNP po. Sir, ano po yung ibibigay nating parangal doon sa katapangang ipinakita ng mga pulis natin sa DATU PIANG?
We'll give them, siguro Bronze Cross or depende sa Board of Awards namin. No? Kasi nga, based sa discount nga na BOI, we'll forward it sa SPAB namin, yung Special Promotion and Awards sa board namin. Sila na po ang mag-reward. After that, ipipin ko na lang po sa kanila once matapos.
Sir, yung COP po, sir, kailan ibabalik siya sa pwesto? COP ng DATU PIANG.
I think nakabalik na ata. Diba? I'll be there tomorrow. Gusto mong sumama, Leia?
Sabado, sir, ako.
Diba? I'll be there tomorrow. I'll check kung nakabalik na yung COP. But I'm sure nakabalik na yun kasi last week pa lang tapos ng stress debriefing niya at accordingly, normal ang responses niya. So, no need of alarm.
Thank you, sir.
One final follow-up question from Ma'am Maris.
Sir, pasensya na for pushing this a little bit further. I understand you already gave your directive to the commanders. But when it comes to parties, and when you mentioned na bawal ang party, does this mean they will have to arrest?
Yes,
Sir, why?
bawal.
So, yun yung directive na binigay nyo.
Yes.
Ano exactly yung directive na binigay nyo sa mga commanders po?
Bawal ang party.
Alright. So, right there and then, you will have them arrested
Yes.
kapag nag-party.
Of course, ikaw naman
Okay.
talaga,
Hindi,
Maris.
I just
di ba?
want to hear it from you kasi kanina leave it to the commanders. I want to hear it from you, sir.
We
Thank you.
issued the directive based on the IETF that no party should be there. But hindi man pinagdabawalan yung dinner. Ang dinner is party din eh. Di ba? But you have to observe, di ba? Yung required naman. There are things. Kaya sinasabi ko nga, I leave that to the commanders. Di ba? For their decision. Kasi pag pumunta kasi isang lagagay nito, di ba? Papadinner ko kayo, pa-lunch ko kayo, this is already a lunch party. Naka mo? It's still the discernment of the commanders to implement. The guidelines and specific has been issued. Okay? Maybe, DO sir, could you give Ms. Maris the specific guidelines na binigay natin later on para po makover niya? We will give you the specific guidelines, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I guess that ends this press con. We have the last word from the CPNP, sir, please.
Thank you very much. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll have, kanina is my last flag raising ceremony. So, nandun na po. Do we have next week another press con? So we have, okay? We will have, no? Sige, we'll have the other press con because next Monday is already 21. So okay pa kayo noon? Diba? Sige, you're fine. Along the way, if you get our messages, you could also join us. Now, if you want also to cover our Misa de Gallo, you could also come and what? Okay? So I have given instructions sa mga commanders namin to be present sa malaking churches natin to monitor the Misa de Gallo. So if ever you pass by, you could look for them in the area. Okay? With that, thank you very much at mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you, sir. Magandang tanghali po. You have a sumptuous food provided for you. Magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat.